7 rules that make a home truly prosperous. Many people believe a prosperous home is built with money, a larger house, a better neighborhood, a higher income, more possessions, more comfort. But the Stoics understood something deeper. A house can be full of wealth and still be miserable. A house can be modest and still be rich in everything that matters. Because true prosperity is not measured by what a family owns. It is measured by what a family becomes. A prosperous home is not created by luck. It is not created by circumstances. It is not created by appearances. It is created by habits. Daily habits. Invisible habits. Habits that shape character. Habits that shape relationships. Habits that shape generations. Many families spend years chasing success outside the home while neglecting the foundations inside the home. Then they wonder why peace disappears, why relationships weaken, why trust fades, why happiness becomes difficult to find. The Stoics believe that a person's greatest responsibility begins at home, because the home is where character is formed. The home is where values are taught. The home is where future generations learn how to live. Today we will discuss 7 rules that make a home truly prosperous. Not just financially prosperous, emotionally prosperous, mentally prosperous, spiritually prosperous. The kind of prosperity that survives difficult times. The kind of prosperity that money alone cannot buy. Subscribe to Stoic Reflections for more videos on Stoicism, self-mastery, emotional intelligence, and wisdom. Because a strong home creates strong people, and strong people create a better world. Rule number 1. Make character more important than comfort. One of the greatest mistakes modern families make is prioritizing comfort above character. They protect children from every difficulty, avoid every challenge, remove every obstacle, and in doing so, they accidentally weaken the very people they love. There was a father named Marcus. He loved his son deeply. He wanted his son to have everything he never had. Every toy, every convenience, every opportunity. Whenever his son struggled, Marcus immediately solved the problem. Whenever his son faced difficulty, Marcus stepped in. Whenever his son failed, Marcus rescued him. At first this seemed like love, but as the years passed, a problem emerged. The boy became frustrated easily, discouraged easily, overwhelmed easily. Small challenges felt enormous. Small setbacks felt devastating. Because he had never developed resilience. He had developed comfort. The Stoics understood that comfort and strength are not the same thing. Comfort feels good in the moment. Character protects you for life. Imagine 2 trees. One grows in a greenhouse protected from every storm. The other grows outside where it faces wind, rain, and difficulty. Which tree develops stronger roots? The answer is obvious. The storms strengthen what comfort never can. Families that prosper long-term teach resilience. They teach responsibility. They teach discipline. They teach perseverance. Not through lectures alone. Through example. Children watch what parents do more than what parents say. If parents panic during adversity, children learn panic. If parents remain calm during adversity, children learn strength. The Stoics believed every difficulty contains an opportunity to build character. A prosperous home understands this principle. It does not seek unnecessary suffering, but it does not fear necessary challenges either. Because challenges are often the training ground of future strength. Comfort makes life easier today. Character makes life stronger tomorrow. Rule number 2. Speak with respect even during disagreement. Every family experiences conflict. Every family experiences misunderstandings. Every family experiences moments of frustration. The question is not whether conflict will occur. The question is how it will be handled. There was a family known throughout their community for being successful. Their business flourished. Their finances were stable. Their home was beautiful. Yet inside the house, tension was constant. Arguments became personal. Disagreements became insults. Conversations became battles. Over time, something happened. Trust began disappearing. Communication became weaker. Relationships became strained. The family had wealth, but they lacked peace. The Stoics believed that words possess enormous power. A careless sentence can damage a relationship for years. A wise sentence can heal a relationship in minutes. This is why prosperous homes protect the quality of communication. They understand that disagreement does not require disrespect. A person can disagree without insulting, correct without humiliating, teach without shaming, lead without dominating. There was another family in the same town. They faced difficulties too: financial stress, personal challenges, unexpected hardships. Yet they maintained one important habit. Respect remained present even during conflict. Voices occasionally rose. Mistakes occasionally happened, but insults were rare. Humiliation was avoided. Dignity remained intact. Years later, their relationships remained strong. Why? Because respect had become part of the culture of the home. The Stoics understood that emotions are temporary. Words can be permanent. Many people say things in anger that they regret for years. A prosperous home develops the discipline to pause before speaking, to think before reacting, to remember that winning an argument is meaningless if you lose the relationship. The way a family speaks during conflict determines whether conflict creates division or growth. Rule number 3. Make gratitude a daily habit. One of the fastest ways to destroy happiness inside a home is to focus only on what is missing. The Stoics understood that human beings naturally notice problems. Notice imperfections. Notice what they do not have. Notice what has not yet happened. And if this habit goes unchecked, even a blessed home can begin to feel poor. There was a man named Daniel who worked hard every day. He provided for his family, paid the bills, maintained the house, and constantly pursued more success. Yet despite all his efforts, he rarely felt satisfied. Every achievement quickly became normal. Every improvement quickly became expected. Every blessing quickly became invisible. His family gradually developed the same mindset. Instead of appreciating what they had, they focused on what they lacked. If they bought a car, they wanted a better one. If they moved into a larger house, they wanted an even larger one. If life improved, their expectations increased even faster. As a result, contentment never arrived. The Stoics warned about this danger. They understood that a person who cannot appreciate what they have will never appreciate what they gain. Because gratitude is not created by circumstances, it is created by perspective. There was another family living nearby. Their home was smaller. Their income was lower. Their possessions were fewer. Yet visitors constantly noticed something unusual. The atmosphere felt peaceful. The family laughed together, shared meals together, celebrated small victories together. When asked about their secret, the father simply said, "We spend more time appreciating what we have than complaining about what we don't." That simple habit transformed the home. The Stoics believed gratitude protects the mind from endless dissatisfaction. Every day offers something worth appreciating: health, family, friendship, food, opportunity, knowledge, growth. Even difficult moments often contain lessons. Prosperous homes teach gratitude intentionally. Parents model it. Children learn it. The family culture begins changing. Instead of asking, "Why don't we have more?" people begin asking, "How fortunate are we to have this?" And that shift changes everything. Because prosperity is not only about accumulation, it is also about appreciation. The home that practices gratitude feels rich long before it becomes wealthy. Rule number 4. Take responsibility instead of blaming others. Few habits damage a home faster than constant blame. And few habits strengthen a home faster than personal responsibility. There was a family where every problem had a culprit. If finances were struggling, someone else was blamed. If communication failed, someone else was blamed. If mistakes happened, someone else was blamed. Nobody accepted responsibility. Nobody examined themselves. Nobody asked, "What could I have done better?" As years passed, the family became trapped. Because blame prevents growth. When every problem is someone else's fault, improvement becomes impossible. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed personal responsibility is one of the foundations of wisdom. Because responsibility gives you power, blame gives away power. Imagine two people facing the same problem. The first person says, "This happened because of everyone else." The second person says, "What can I do to improve this situation?" Which person is more likely to grow? Which person is more likely to solve the problem? The answer is obvious. The Stoics constantly focused on what was within their control, not because circumstances were unimportant, but because energy invested in blame rarely produces results. There was a mother named Sophia who understood this principle well. Whenever conflict occurred in her home, she began with herself. Not because she was always wrong, because she knew leadership begins with example. If she lost patience, she admitted it. If she made a mistake, she acknowledged it. If she spoke unfairly, she apologized. At first, this seemed like a small habit, but over time it transformed the entire family culture. Her children learned accountability. Her spouse learned accountability. Gradually, everyone became more willing to examine themselves honestly. The result was remarkable. Problems were solved faster. Trust became stronger. Resentment became weaker. Why? Because responsibility replaced blame. The Stoics believed that self-examination is one of the most powerful tools available to human beings. Every evening they reflected on questions like, what did I do well today? What mistakes did I make? How can I improve tomorrow? Imagine if every member of a family practiced this habit. Imagine the growth that would occur. Imagine the maturity that would develop. Imagine the peace that would emerge. Prosperous homes understand something many people forget. Perfection is not required. Accountability is. Families become stronger not because they avoid mistakes. They become stronger because they learn from them. Blame keeps people stuck. Responsibility moves people forward. Rule number 5. Protect the home from unnecessary negativity. The Stoics were extremely careful about what they allowed into their minds. They understood that repeated exposure shapes character. The same principle applies to a home. A prosperous home protects its atmosphere, not through control, not through fear, through wisdom. There was a man named Ethan who noticed a troubling pattern. Every evening his family gathered together. Yet instead of enjoying one another's company, the time was filled with complaints. Complaints about neighbors, complaints about work, complaints about politics, complaints about relatives, complaints about life. Night after night, the same pattern repeated. Gradually, the mood inside the home changed. People became more cynical, more irritable, more pessimistic. The negativity spread like smoke through every room. One day, Ethan decided something needed to change. He began encouraging different conversations. Conversations about gratitude, goals, lessons, ideas, growth. The change was not immediate, but over time the atmosphere transformed. Because what enters the mind eventually enters the culture. The Stoics believe that thoughts become habits. Habits become character, and character becomes destiny. This is why prosperous homes pay attention to what is constantly discussed, what is constantly consumed, what is constantly encouraged. A home filled with gossip eventually develops distrust. A home filled with negativity eventually develops pessimism. A home filled with bitterness eventually develops resentment. But a home filled with growth develops strength. A home filled with wisdom develops maturity. A home filled with gratitude develops peace. This does not mean pretending problems do not exist. The Stoics never promoted denial. They promoted perspective. Problems should be addressed, but they should not become the center of life. Because whatever occupies attention eventually shapes identity. The atmosphere of a home is created by what people repeatedly focus on. Rule number 6. Spend time together with purpose. One of the greatest tragedies of modern life is that many families live under the same roof, but rarely connect. They share a house, but not conversations. They share meals, but not attention. They share space, but not meaningful moments. The Stoics understood that relationships do not become strong automatically. Like a garden, they must be cultivated. There was a successful businessman named Victor. He worked tirelessly for years. Long hours, constant travel, endless responsibilities. His goal was noble. He wanted to provide the best possible life for his family. And financially, he succeeded. The family had comfort, security, opportunity, everything money could provide. Yet one evening, Victor realized something painful. His children knew very little about him, and he knew very little about them. Years had passed. Important moments had been missed. Relationships had weakened quietly, not because of conflict, because of absence. That realization changed him. He began creating intentional family time, shared meals, meaningful conversations, weekend activities, moments where phones disappeared and attention became present. At first it felt awkward. Years of distance cannot be repaired overnight. But consistency began working its magic. Conversations deepened, trust increased, connection returned. The Stoics believe that time is life's most valuable currency. Money can be recovered, possessions can be replaced, opportunities can return. Time cannot. Every day that passes is gone forever. Prosperous homes understand this truth. They do not merely exist together. They grow together. They learn together. They create memories together. There was an elderly man once asked what he regretted most. People expected him to mention money, career choices, missed opportunities. Instead, he said, "I wish I had spent less time building a living and more time building relationships." That wisdom resonates because many people discover it too late. The Stoics frequently reflected on mortality, not to become fearful, but to become intentional. When you remember that life is temporary, relationships become more precious, conversations become more meaningful, moments become more valuable. A prosperous home understands that connection requires effort. Children spell love as time. Spouses experience love through attention. Families remain strong through presence. Not perfect presence, consistent presence. The strongest homes are not built with money. They are built with meaningful moments. Rule number 7. Live by shared values, not just shared space. This may be the most important rule of all. A house becomes prosperous when the people inside share values. Not merely an address. Values, principles, standards, beliefs about how life should be lived. There was a wealthy family known throughout their city. They had everything people admired. Beautiful property, financial success, prestige, influence, responsibility, respect, discipline, kindness, gratitude. Whenever decisions needed to be made, those values guided them. Whenever challenges appeared, those values grounded them. Whenever disagreements occurred, those values provided direction. The Stoics believed virtue is the foundation of a meaningful life. Not wealth, not status, not popularity. Virtue. Because external circumstances constantly change, values endure. Imagine building a house. If the foundation is weak, eventually cracks appear. The structure may look impressive for a while, but instability grows underneath. The same is true of families. Shared values create stability. They provide direction during uncertainty. They create consistency across generations. Children raised in such homes know what their family stands for. They know what matters. They know what principles guide decisions. And this knowledge becomes a source of strength. There was a grandfather who gathered his family every year, not to discuss money, not to discuss possessions, but to discuss principles. He reminded them that character matters more than reputation. Integrity matters more than convenience. Wisdom matters more than appearance. Decades later, those lessons continued shaping future generations. That is the power of shared values. The Stoics understood that prosperity is ultimately a matter of character. Because character influences every area of life. Character affects relationships. Character affects finances. Character affects leadership. Character affects happiness. A prosperous home intentionally cultivates these values. Not occasionally, daily. A family united by values can survive storms that destroy families united only by comfort. Now let's bring everything together. The 7 rules that make a home truly prosperous are: make character more important than comfort. Speak with respect even during disagreement. Make gratitude a daily habit. Take responsibility instead of blaming others. Protect the home from unnecessary negativity. Spend time together with purpose. And live by shared values, not just shared space. Notice something important. Very few of these rules require money. Very few depend on circumstances. Very few depend on luck. That is because true prosperity begins internally before it appears externally. Many people spend their lives trying to build a successful house. The Stoics focused on building a successful home. And there is a difference. A house is made of walls. A home is made of relationships. A house provides shelter. A home provides belonging. A house protects the body. A home nourishes the soul. The Stoics believe that the quality of your inner life determines the quality of your outer life. The same principle applies to families. Homes become prosperous when people develop wisdom, when they practice gratitude, when they communicate respectfully, when they take responsibility, when they value character above comfort. Because these habits create something far more valuable than wealth. They create trust, peace, stability, resilience, and love. Think about the families you admire most. Often they are not the wealthiest. They are the most united, the most respectful, the most grounded, the most resilient. Why? Because prosperity is ultimately about what remains during difficult times. Money can disappear. Possessions can disappear. Status can disappear. But character remains. Values remain. Relationships remain. And those things become the true inheritance passed from one generation to the next. The Stoics understood that every family is shaping the future. Every conversation, every habit, every example, every decision. Children learn from what they observe. Future generations are influenced by today's actions. That is why building a prosperous home is one of the most meaningful responsibilities a person can undertake. Not because it creates comfort, because it creates legacy. A legacy of wisdom, a legacy of strength, a legacy of integrity, a legacy of love. And that legacy may influence people long after you are gone. Subscribe to Stoic Reflections for more videos on Stoicism, self-mastery, emotional intelligence, wisdom, family values, resilience, and personal growth. And remember, a truly prosperous home is not the one with the most possessions. It is the one where people grow stronger together. Because when character is strong, when values are clear, when gratitude is present, and when love is supported by wisdom, the home becomes rich in the things that matter most.